InsideThunder.com. Powered by Wheeler Whitlock Insurance.
Hi, I'm Randy Renner at Chesapeake Energy Arena. The Thunder in their three-game homestand in impressive fashion, running away from the Miami Heat in the second half, winning 99-74. That's the fewest points the Thunder have allowed all season. Miami came in with an outstanding defense, and they played pretty good defense tonight, but the Thunder were absolutely dominating at times, especially in that second half. Russell Westbrook with his second consecutive triple-double. He ended up with 13 points, 15 assists, 10 rebounds. Russ now has 5 triple-doubles on the season, 24 for his career. Thunder 3-0 in this homestand, and they won all 3 games by at least 19 points. They're looking good as they play the 4 of their next 5 on the road. We talked to Billy Donovan and Russell Westbrook after the game.
Well, I thought start the game. We really had good defensive energy. I thought it started, the very first possession. Andre's diving on the floor for loose basketball was great. Give the Heat credit. I thought we struggled offensively there in that first half, but the one thing that kind of kept us with a lead was the way we defended. And then I thought in the second half we did a much better job attacking their defense, and then our defense continued to move in a positive direction. And I thought from 48 minutes, it was probably the most complete game we played defensively, and did a lot of good things. We guarded them very well. We didn't give up a lot of threes. We really used our length and size, and I thought from a sustainability standpoint, we sustained tonight for a long period of time, which was great to see.
You talked about Andre. It seemed like in the third quarter, when came out of that timeout, when he hit that dunk and he had back-to-back dunks on consecutive possessions, it seemed like that's when y'all really started to pull away from him. And can you talk about that play, and was that kind of a design out of the timeout?
Yeah, it was a play coming out of the timeout, and it's a read, for Russell, based on what Andre's man's doing. And a lot of times when Stevens rolling to the rim, sometimes they pull off Andre's man, and Andre had the awareness to back cut, and Russell had the awareness to recognize where the help was coming from, and obviously it gave us some momentum. That play kind of started it. We kind of opened up the game after that play.
It seems like you're getting good, consistent production in his homestand from that shooting guard spot from Andre and from Dion.
Well, I think the one thing is Andre's figured out inside of our offense is different ways to score. He's been really, I think, timely and selective on his threes. He's gotten out in transition. He's gotten lobs. He's snuck behind the defense. He's gotten some offensive rebounds. So he's finding ways to score besides just maybe shooting the ball from the perimeter. And it's given us, an added dimension when he's along the baseline and he's offensive rebounding and getting out in transition. And I think the biggest thing for Dion is there's been certainly a lot talked about, a lot of his mid-range shots and those non-paint twos statistically and from an analytics standpoint, but I think Dion continues to get better at driving the ball, getting to the paint, getting guys shots, and then I think also understanding that when there's a clock situation, manufacturing a shot and getting something up to the rim that's a good shot, and he's a really good creator one-on-one. So to your point, I think both those guys have played well here for the last few games.
Nick Gallo, KCThunder.com. You spoke off the top about being able to sustain the defense through 48 minutes. You're not going to play this perfectly on that end every single game, but what are some elements that you saw on the defensive end tonight that are sustainable for you guys moving forward, some things that you guys could replicate?
Well, I really thought in the first half we had some breakdowns where they got to the rim. We got cut back door. We gave up some stuff in around the basket. I thought the second half we did a much better job with our positioning. We were in areas of the floor that we took away a lot of deep paint drives, deep paint catches. I think they scored 11 points or 12 points to start the third quarter, and they were all non-paint twos, and that you couldn't ask for anything more. I mean, give them credit. I mean, Whiteside made a couple, Bosch made one, Wade had a hard running shot. They made some shots, but if you can get a team to take those kind of shots over a period of time, and I know those two guys, Bosch and Wade, are great mid-range players, but you're gonna have to give something up, and you'd rather give that up. And I thought for us over the long, 24 minutes of that second half, we did a nice job of really protecting the paint. And I thought that was a big factor to us having a good defensive night.
On that timeout that set up the lob for Andre, what led to the timeout? You called it mid-possession again, and you seemed upset with something there.
Well, I just thought, I think the play before it, Russell had kind of cut through the lane, and the guy had hit him and knocked him down, and I thought it should have been a foul. And, instead of screaming across the court, I just called timeout, and I just said I thought that was a foul. And, he basically had mentioned that Russell kind of ran into the defender where he was playing defense. I just thought the guy had lifted up his arm and tried to, and I don't think it was anything flagrant or wrong, but it was just, Russell goes running through the lane and he gets flying on the floor. I mean, I thought there should have been a foul. So it was just more to regroup those guys. It was a very physical game. Miami's a physical team defensively, and just tried to regroup them. And then we had that play coming out of the timeout. I think there was maybe 12 seconds on the clock, so we put him in a double ball screen high, and we put Andre in the corner. And, as Steven was rolling, I think Wade maybe came up to try to provide some help on the roll, and, Andre was able to cut back door, and Russell found him. So there was a couple of options on the play that Russell needed to pay attention to and look at, and he did a great job reading it. And, I think he does a nice job when he's going left, Russell, of recognizing when Andre's in that right corner. He kind of always pays attention to his man and what he's doing, and I think Russell have a pretty good connection on that. And Russell does a good job, I think, coming out of timeouts, reading some of those situations.
Russ, maybe the most sustained 48-minute defensive effort you guys have had this season. What allowed you guys to be so effective on that end?
Just being aggressive. I thought we did a good job of creating the tempo defensively, and that led to some good offensive possessions for us. Got out in transition, get us a good opportunity to get some points.
That third quarter burst seemed to completely change the game. What did you see on that backdoor alley-oop to Andre that got you going?
Just reading, man. Just reading, reacting. A lot of guys, a lot of teams pay a lot of attention to me, so I try to find ways to get other guys going, and try to find ways to get them easy baskets.
You guys seem to have an extra gear that you can get to like you did in that third quarter. What do you notice about that level of play? What's going well for you during that stretch?
Defense. Regardless of missed and made shots, our defense is at a high level. It's hard to stop us.
Russ, this pregame routine you got with Cam, where's this come from, and how's this thing evolved?
Just, every game is something new. It depends on, got to figure out a new dance every game. Bad thing about that, we got a lot of games left, so got to figure it out. But, just something that we came up with.
Do you guys rehearse them pregame?
No. We just got to go with the flow.
Russ, what do these triple doubles mean to you in the context of what all you have to do for your team to get them?
It just means it's great that we having good wins. We're playing together as a team, which is important. Moving in the right direction on both sides of the floor, which is great for us.
How important was keeping Miami off the offensive glass? I think they only had 7 offensive rebounds.
It's great, man. That shows we did a good job of limiting them to one shots, taking tough twos, long shots, and did a good job of getting the rebounds and getting out on the break.
Russell, when Dwayne Wade was young, he played a lot like you do now, explosive, athletic. Now he's 34. He can still get the job done in a different way. How much do you appreciate a guy who can sort of morph his game like that?
You definitely appreciate guys like that, man. He's obviously he's won championships and he knows how to play the game. He didn't prepare himself every year to try to become one of the best players to have his position, and obviously for the Miami Heat. But he's definitely done a great job, and it's somebody obviously. Me growing up watching them play and watching the Heat play back then, is to see him now is a good thing to see him on the floor.
Have you ever thought about what you're going to be like at 34?
No, man, I take one day at a time, man. I'm just blessed. I'm just blessed to wake up every day, man, and thank God for my opportunity, and blessed to take one day at a time. I don't go with the future. I just wake up in the morning, man, and take one day at a time.
Russell Westbrook there talking about that dance he and Cam Payne do. If you haven't been here in person to see it, you can find it, I think, on YouTube and some other places. It's quite the deal, and it's a little bit different every game. Thunder now will go on the road. They will be in Denver on Tuesday. They're not going to practice tomorrow. They'll just fly up there. They play the Nuggets on Tuesday. Then they're back here to take on Charlotte. Then they go on the road for 3 more. So 4 of their next 5 on the road. Keep it here. We'll keep you updated at InsideThunder.com.